So we are going to demo some of the integrated applications of Cardio One. So this is the base EMR, which is the Athena instance. So I'm going to log into Athena. As you can see, we are logging into the instance of Cardio One. We are identified by the Athena instance ID of 27406. And as you can see here, these are all the departments that we have created. So it primarily consists of the main cardiology practice, for example, Chesapeake Cardiac Care, Samuel Family Cardiology, and the rest are all some of the inpatient hospitals that each of these practice staff or the providers visit. So I'm going to log into one of the practices, Chesapeake Cardiac Care, to demonstrate some of the integrated workflows. So first I'm going to demo what we call the integrated RPM workflow. So I'm going to pull up a test patient. And then let's assume the patient is in front of the doctor here, and they think that this patient is eligible to be ordered or enrolled on an RPM program. The doctor basically creates a dispensable order. Let's say she is going to order a BP cuff. Ordered as a dispensable, and then the order is signed. So what this will do is this will basically, that's all the provider has to do, right? And then what this will basically do is this will send a message to the RPM team for them to take appropriate actions on this order. So basically the next steps from their perspective is to ensure that they are eligible, in the sense that their insurance is eligible and will pay for RPM. And once they do that, they enroll them, then the devices basically gets shipped to the patient, and our RPM partner will basically provide the outsourced service for making sure that the devices are getting shipped to the test patients, to the patients enrolled. And then once the patients are enrolled, they onboard them, then we basically have all of their vital signs tracked through this application. As you can see, these are all the patients that are currently onboarded for Chesapeake Cardiac Care. There is a whole lot of patients within Samuel Family Cardiology as well. So all of these test results, compliance, all of these activities are tracked here. Any nurse escalation notes or nurse notes are also tracked here through the outsourcing company. But the beauty of this is none of our staff, the providers or the practice staff, need to come here to do anything. I'm just pulling this up to show the complete outsource services and what they use. We do have visibility, but there is no need for us to come and do anything here because of the integration that we have with the RPM application. So I'm going to pull up another patient. For whom we can demonstrate some test results. Okay. Patient ID 21 as an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the vital section of this patient. So you can see here that these vital signs, specifically the BP and the heart rate, which is what was ordered, as the information is actually coming from Ethilus directly into Athena. So when the provider is seeing this patient, they are able to completely see a track of all the vitals that is being recorded at home, and the doctor is able to kind of view it and then do the needful. Similarly, if there are any escalation notes, that will also come. Um, for example, let's say there is a clinical document, it's a part of the clinical document. So vital signs is a clinical document that gets sent. All the nurse notes, the conversation that the nurse had with the patient, the measurements, all of it come through. And as you can see here, it is done through the API, and the doctor has basically reviewed it and then closed the note. So that's how the RPM integration is done. Again, all that the provider needs to do from their own EMR, not going to multiple applications, is create an order for an appropriate patient and then manage everything within the EMR itself as all of the results come back in. So that is one example of an integrated workflow. So next I'm going to demonstrate how the integrated workflow works in the case of a PAC system. So as you can see here, I'm going to move to a different patient as just as an example. Again, before going that, I again want to make sure that I demonstrate how easy it is to place orders. So again, I'm pulling up test Selena patient, and all I need to do here as a provider is basically come here, create an order for, let's say, echo or carotid or whatnot. And then sign order. So what this will basically do is this will send, this is directly integrated with the PAC system, and the PAC system is connected to the actual echo device. So this will create, go and sit in the work list in the device. So if Selena walks in to the clinic to get her echo done, then at that time, the once the reading is done, it will basically populate it back onto this PACS application. So this is the PACS application. This is how the work list is built. Obviously, right now, Selena test patient will not show up because she's not going to walk into the clinic and getting the images done. So once the images are done, read in the machine, it automatically integrates with the application. And this is where the tech does all the work. So the good part is previously, before we implemented this integration, the tech will have to go into the EMR, get some patient information, re-enter that data in whatever PACS application that they had. And then once the reading is done, they manually enter all of the readings within the application. So all of that is taken away because of the ability of the application to be able to read all of this and populate directly into the studies in the report. It basically populates all of these values from the readings of the device itself. Okay, so I'm going to go and assume that we got to a patient where the study was already done. So I want to show you how it will appear back to the provider in the EMR. So I'm going to go to the results section here. And then, so for example, as you see, these were some of the orders placed and the results have come and a follow-up was scheduled. So the doctor can just basically go here and then click the report. This is the report that generated from the PACS application. All of the values are populated, no manual entry. The doc can just read the report from the echo. As you can see, this is basically an integration from StudyCast. So as you can see, this basic report was sent into Athena through the interface. And similarly, the other great thing about this is the provider doesn't, if the provider wants to see the image, they don't even need to go to a different application. They just come in here and then click. They can see the images and view the reports directly together. Again, great integration functionality, no more multiple logins, multiple application. Everything can be viewed from a single space. So one other thing that I wanted to demonstrate is the data migration aspect. So this patient is a long-time patient of the practice. So as you can see, if I go to the vitals, we were able to bring vitals from all the previous years of this patient dating back to 2012. So that is an example of how we bring in a good amount of clinical data, documents. As you can see, we have been able to bring back documents dating as early as, however early it goes, I think about 2018.